Hello, if you're new here, my name's Jenny from Inmysparetime Crochet. I'm from New South Wales, Australia, and I love all things yarn. Now, I've been making plushies for quite a while now. Before that it was blankets and, you know, I make all the things really. But I've really very much been into my plushie era. So I am always on the hunt for a really great chenille or plush yarn. Now, as you would know, in Australia we are a bit lacking in the plush yarn department in comparison to our friends overseas. Recently though, Spotlight did bring out a new range, and that is, it's in their valuable range, and this one is called Panda Velour. So I headed in there this morning and thought I would take advantage of their sale because I wanted to give it a try. Now, having said that, I do use a few brands that I am actually very happy with, and I can probably put that in another video. However, I really wanted to see how it stacked up, and particularly how I felt it compared to Premier Parfait Chunky. Now, I have been using that for a while, and you know, I did used to love it. However, I've fallen out of love with it a bit, I guess. So, but I do think that this is probably going to be quite comparable. So I thought I'd do a review video and it just might help you out. So what do we know? We do know that they both come in 100 gram balls. They both have 120 meters per ball. So very much on the money at the moment. Now, they are both classed as a 6-weight yarn or a super bulky. If you've used Premier Parfait Chunky before, you would probably know that it's not a true super bulky yarn. It is kind of thin, but nevertheless, they are both classed as a super bulky yarn. This one, the Parfait Chunky, recommends an 8mm hook. Now, in all of my time using Parfait Chunky, I have never used an 8mm hook. I always use a 5. Maybe that's a personal preference, but that always works well for me. So, yeah, so I always use a 5 despite it recommending an 8. Now, the Panda Velour recommends a 6 or a 6.5mm hook. But I think when I work it up, I'm going to use a 5. I'm going to use a 5 and see how it goes. I forgot to mention, these are both 100% polyester yarns. They're both made in Turkey, as is a lot of the yarn these days. And in store, when I did take a look at it, I had a look at the end because I wanted to see, you know, how sheddy the end was. Now, if we look at the Premier Parfait Chunky, you will notice here's the end here, and I can very easily pull that chenille off the thread. So, you know, that is a common issue with this type of yarn. Now, when I checked out the Spotlight brand yarn in store, I found exactly the same issue. So yeah, it comes off very easily. So, and I mean, if you're making a little plushie, you can avoid the issue at the start by using cotton or acrylic, for example, for your magic circle, or using the chain 2 method to get started. It is very soft, you know, similarly to the Parfait Chunky. But yeah, I think I might, for a start, I think I might try and do a magic circle and see how we go. I don't expect it to work, so if it does, I'm going to be impressed, but let's see how that goes. Got my 5mm hook here. Okay, let's see how we go. Now I'll give it a chance. I've done 2 single crochets so far. I'll give it a little bit of a pull. Yeah, that doesn't want to work. That's certainly not going to work as expected, really. So I will chop that off. Just for comparison, I will do the same in the Parfait Chunky and see how we go there. Yeah, as I said, I was previously a fan of the Parfait Chunky. I don't know if the quality has just decreased or what, but yeah, it's not really for me anymore. I do have a bit of a stash to get through though. I'm certainly not going to waste it. Okay, yeah, that one, exact same. If I pull that, it's going to break. It's just, actually, it's not budging at all. So that one doesn't work either. What I will do though, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take some cotton, use the cotton to make a magic ring, and then go ahead and bring in my plush yarn. And I think I'll make an axolotl. So I will get started. I'll show you a little bit of footage of me actually making it, but then I will see how we go at the end. Oh look, we've got, interesting, not even very far into the skein, and there is a factory knot. It also is a little thinner just around here, but I mean, this can certainly happen with Parfait Chunky as well, but hopefully there's not too many of those. One thing I forgot to mention is the colour range. Now today I did grab it in 8 colours. I should go ahead and show you those. I grabbed the aqua, and this is a really, really pretty blue. I do really like it. This is lemon, and this is a different shade of lemon to what I've seen before, or yellow, sorry. So I actually really like that shade. And this, I was actually disappointed that there wasn't some more skeins of this. I got the very last one. This colour is called Butter, and it's beautiful. It's really, really nice, but there was only 1 skein left. So unfortunately I couldn't grab any more. I grabbed 2 white, the last 2 white that were there, 1 black. Again, that was the only black. They did have more of these colours. So we have blush and bright pink, sorry. So they're very, very pretty as well. There are very similar colours to this in the Parfait Chunky range. Now, in regards to Parfait Chunky, I have usually grabbed mine from Craft Online here in Australia. It does have the most competitive rate. However, you can also buy it from American Yarns or Craft to You. I have ordered from Craft to You before. I don't think I've ever ordered it from American Yarns. But the Parfait Chunky you can usually get it on sale for, sorry, I should actually hold the Parfait Chunky. You can usually get it on sale for $8.99 per skein. Now the Spotlight yarn is ordinarily $8, so it is already around $1 cheaper. However, today, and taking advantage of the sale, I grabbed it for $5.60 per skein. So that is a really good price. So if it does work up, you know, about the same as the Parfait Chunky, that is really good to know. So anyway, I'll get on with some making, and then I will pop back in and let you know how I'm going. Okay, so 4 rounds in so far, and aside from that one factory knot that I had to cut out, it's working up pretty well. I'm not unhappy with it at all, and it's actually really, really soft. So I will go ahead, follow the pattern. I'll probably stop one more time before the end and give you a bit of an update, but so far not too bad at all. Okay, frogging with chenille yarn is always a really good test to see how it holds up, and I have found that if you're just frogging single crochets, that actually frogs quite well. However, when there are decreases involved, it is a little trickier. So it's not done too bad in that department, maybe not fabulously well because of the decreases, but that is something to be mindful of. So yeah, frogging just normal single crochet is okay, but when it comes to having done decreases, it doesn't hold up as well, that's for sure. Okay, so that is the axolotl done without the detailing. You can see a small amount of shed there, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. I'm just going to finish popping in the polyfill, and then I will close it up. It's interesting, I found that the Parfait Chunky suggests an 8mm hook, and the Spotlight one suggests a 6 or 6.5. As I said, I was using a 5, which I normally do with my chenille yarn, and I think this one is definitely thicker. It's more dense, I suppose, than the Parfait Chunky. So yeah, really interesting that Parfait Chunky suggests an 8, because I can't imagine that would ever work out, to be honest. All right, I'm going to go ahead, close this up, fix it a little first, but yeah, then I'll close it up and I will use one of the other colors of the Panda Velour, and I will add the detailing, and then I'll pop back on and I'll compare it to the axolotl made with Parfait Chunky, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, I have finished my project, so let's have a look at both of the axolotls. So I obviously made the one in Parfait Chunky off camera. I did that before I made this guy here. So, you know, he turned out pretty well. You know, there was the usual, I guess, amount of shedding with him. I used my 5mm hook and I had no problem in working him up. Now, comparatively, you will notice straight away that there is quite a decent size difference in these two projects. Now remember, the Parfait Chunky recommends an 8mm. The Spotlight recommends a 6 or 6.5. So very, very interesting, I think. In working with both yarns, I did notice that this one it definitely feels, as I said a bit earlier, a lot more dense, a lot thicker. It was actually quite nice to work up with. It, you know, I'm not going to lie, it does shed. It definitely does shed, but you know, I guess just in all the usual places you would expect it. I did use cotton at the beginning with my magic ring so that I could close it without any problems. And, you know, I have to say I am fairly impressed. Now, given that the cost is usually $8, I'm not sure if I would buy it full price, if I'm honest. There is at least one or two other brands that I probably prefer because they work better with the magic ring and the structure's really nice. Having said that, considering I paid $5.60 for each of these skeins, I am very, very happy with the results, and I can safely say that it definitely is a yarn that I am happy to use moving forward when I can get it on sale. Yeah, so I don't know, if I had to choose a winner in each category, I guess for price, definitely the Panda Velour yarn from Spotlight. For the ease of working with it, I would also go the Panda Velour over the Parfait Chunky. And I guess colour selection definitely has to be Parfait Chunky. There is a huge list of colours available in this range. There's no doubt about that, compared to, I think it was 11 in the Spotlight range. So if you're looking for colour variety, definitely Parfait Chunky is probably your winner there out of just these two brands. But I think overall, I mean, as I said earlier, I am veering away from Parfait Chunky anyway, but just to know that there are some lovely colours available at a very, very competitive price, available at Spotlight, that actually makes me really happy. And you don't need to take my word for it. Try it yourself, see what you think. But, you know, from my experience working with it today, I am definitely impressed. So I hope that this review has been helpful for you. I know myself, I like watching and reading reviews, and particularly when it's a new one to the market. So about time, Spotlight, thank you. But yeah, if you've stuck around and if you enjoyed this content, please consider liking, give me a comment, and potentially subscribing. It really helps out my channel a lot. But if you have tried it, I'd also love to hear what you think. You know, did you also think that it was not bad? But that's it for today. Thanks for being here, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye for now.